Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV. It's time to see what kind of disaster Hildebrand's going to get himself into this time. So, let's dive on in. Hey, we are live. Delian is trembling with barely contained enthusiasm. Eager to resume our investigations? I know I am. Do you recall that scrap of alien starship we recovered? Well, Inspector Brandehild has employed his unsettling calculative capacity to extrapolate the damage to the greater hull, and he has concluded that the vessel would be incapable of flight without extensive repairs. Our most likely scenario, then, is that some unknown agent made off with the starship wreckage, according to Poo-Poo's acquaintance. Along with Poo-Poo's acquaintance. Fortunately, I have a fair idea who that unknown agent might be. After all, there is a singularly shadowy cabal with a history of concealing extraterrestrial activity. Actually, let's head over to Kama first. The inspector and the others are staying in a dwelling there, and I'd rather not explain myself twice. Of course, Nashu has not been around yet, so her stalker probably hasn't been around yet.
Oh yes, we must watch for that.
Mm-hmm. Checking the bushes. Oh, there he is.
Oh, he's looking in the window. I love it.
Of course, he had to have a box. Of course, now I have to wonder, has that box always been there? It has not. It is not a collidable object. I'm standing inside of it. It's
Oh,
part of him. It was added just for this.
love it.
His horrible misfortune. Calamitous even. Poor Master Poo-Poo has fallen gravely ill. He's so bluish green. More so, even. Could he have caught a cold? I suppose it was quite chilly up there in the Garlemald. Poo-Poo is an alien. Who knows what extraterrestrial diseases might be ravaging his body? Nashu's delights are the best medicine for whatever ails you, as the inspector himself can attest. Good gods, Nashu! You'll blow our host's domicile to pieces! Put them away! If I may. When I was cloned from the inspector, certain gaps in my knowledge were patched with supplementary data from the starship's archives. This information included an encyclopedic understanding of Master Poo-Poo's physiology, which should be sufficient for me to diagnose his condition. A Xenoman hybrid mind explains the impossible calculations. I have it. Master Poo-Poo is afflicted by a terrible case of the common cold. God's grant me strength. As a visitor to Aetheris, Master Poo-Poo has no prior exposure to our maladies. He is thus particularly susceptible to infection, and more likely to experience severe symptoms. Aha! It's just as I surmised. We must put aside the case until we have nursed our stricken companion back to health. But even if it is a common cold, isn't there a risk that our medicines do him more harm than good? They almost certainly would, based on the results of my analysis. However, I believe I can synthesize an effective remedy. We need but gather the ingredients. The ingredients you shall have. So, what are we gathering exactly? Most of what we require can be drawn from Master Poo-Poo's collected samples. Otherwise, there are only two which we lack. The first of these is the liver of a giant tortoise. A suitable organ can be extracted from one of the Chapa, which wander salt winds welcome. Ah, the slaughtering of a monstrous opponent. That sounds like a job for you. The other material in question is a rare fungus known as damp shroom, which I am hoping can be found among the Great Works' extensive stock of alchemical reagents. Very well. Nashu, Delian, and I will scour the alchemist's shelves. Meanwhile, I would ask that you remain here and keep an eye on our ailing patient. Inspector Brandehild, you're such an expert on all things Thavnair. Oh, I wouldn't say expert. Simple conclusions for simple observations. Nothing more. As I said, I am hoping the alchemists have the damp shroom we need, but it really is quite rare. Once you have the tortoise liver, would you be so kind as to assist the others in procuring the fungus? Then let us not prolong Master Poo-Poo's suffering a moment longer. We have a job to do. Further discussions of the abduction will have to wait.
He's gone and he took his box with him, bastard.
Of course he's gone. Nashu left. He followed Nashu wherever she went.
I figured.
I just decided to do my own car for a second.
The buttons do look very similar, seeing as how I pressed my get in the car button as opposed to get out the car button. That was easy. Everybody else get theirs, I assume?
Yeah.
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 I don't have much.
Yes, I did. It's like not B, it's I. You don't have to loot, it just goes in there automatically.
Mm-hmm. Of course, I guess we could have flown over here. It wasn't that far. But, oh well. Master Poo-Poo's life is on the line. We
That's
must
right.
hurry.
Must hurry.
Alright, we have a Nashu here. Where is he?
Oh, he's just right here.
Yeah.
He's a clever little fellow, isn't he? Well, clever.
Uh-oh. Nashu says, who knew a lamp shroom would be so difficult to find? They've been looking for the wrong thing.
Oh.
Ah, I have every confidence you would bring us a suitable liver. Alas, the dank shroom yet eludes us. The alchemist said the fungus has few applications, so they don't bother to stock it most of the time. Then I must put my keen inspector's sense to work. Stand back whilst I attune myself with the essence of the dank. Damp. The word is damp shrew. And you'll forgive me if I have no faith in your abilities. It's close, my friends, and getting closer and closer even as we speak. Trustworthy trader. FF14, I feel like you should have gone ahead and just put the air quotes in his name.
Yeah, no kidding.
I hear you folk are in the market for damp shrooms. I might have some to sell, if you're interested. But how? We certainly are, my fine fellow. Right then. You'll give me a moment to retrieve the goods and finalize our transaction up on the perfumed rise. You know, out of view of any authorities. Yeah. Is it genuine clairvoyance or sheer coincidence? Not sure. Though in all fairness, when it comes to Inspector Hildebrand, preternatural perception is one of his least baffling talents. In any case, we should hurry to the rise and take this man up on his timely offer. Okay, I like that time they actually showed the stalker following him.
He's not even subtle about it.
Well, I mean, we're talking about Nashu here. He doesn't have to be.
No, that's true. That's true.
I mean, honestly, he could identify himself as one of Hildebrand's fan club, and she'd let him come with her wherever he went.
That is true as well.
Okay, I think it would be harder for him to hide here. So is he in a bush or something?
He's not in that. Oh, he's over here. He's just over here.
Ah. He's hiding behind a flower.
Yeah.
He's small
Holding
enough.
up sticks.
Oh, so he's holding up sticks.
Yeah. Well, his jacket's almost the same colors of flowers.
True. Just had a thought. How Nashu very often is half falling asleep, like she is right now. Is it always when she's standing in the sun? Because she is a cat.
Oh gosh, that's funny. We should watch for that for sure.
Indeed. Ah, you're here. Good, good. And here is the damp shroom, as promised. Oh, glad we are for your assistance. Oh, not so fast. There's still the matter of payment. Of course, of course. And how much do we owe you, my good man? Considering the extreme rarity of the fungus in question, I couldn't let it go for less than 1,000,000 gil. I mean, I could pay that, but I'm not going to.
Yeah, same.
1,000,000 gil for one measly mushroom? That's outright robbery. Bargain. I counter. You would pay tenfold my price in the markets. I thought to do you a kindness in light of your urgent need, but I am more than willing to find another buyer if you wish to spit on upon my generosity. Nashu, how fair we are. How fair we for coin. We're plumb out, Inspector. Ah, then this is a prickly pickle. Where are we to obtain sufficient funds at such a short notice?
Oh my gosh, I love the options.
Indeed.
I fell asleep.
I'm going with option 2.
Same.
I have an orchestron roll collecting problem. Gotta buy them all. Spent my last savings on Return to Oblivion. Do I even have that one? If that's the way of it, then I shall beg Father for the necessary amount. Saving Master Poo-Poo's life is worth every gil. Give that man nothing. No, I thought it was actually going to be Godbert, but...
Yeah, me too.
We have you now, deceitful scum. Your swindling days are over. Radzatan City Guard at your service. We'd received reports of this man's questionable activities and have been keeping a close eye on him ever since. Damp Shroom is a rare find in the bazaar, to be sure, but only because there's no real demand for it. The price this charlatan quoted you was quite frankly ludicrous. But thanks to your ignorance and poor judge of character, we were able to catch him in the act. As a token of gratitude, you are welcome to keep the fungus, assuming you still want it. Yes, very much so. This is very, magnanimous of you. Yes? Think I enjoy tricking fools out of their coin? If that bastard hadn't declared my job redundant, I wouldn't have needed to stoop so low. He blames a rising star among the merchant princes for his woes. Van Hoody, I believe his name was, purchased the trading consortium where the man was working, which led to a restructuring of the hierarchy. Put a lot of people out of work. Van Hoody, I know that name. Something about an acquisitions deal gone sour? Father was willing to sell him a slice of his Hunnish enterprise, I think, but balked when the man offered to buy our family business in its entirety. Truly there's no telling how deep the coffers of this Van Hoody are, nor do any know the secret of how he amassed such a kingly wealth and so damnably fast. There are whispers, though, that he's solved alchemy's oldest and most legendary of problems, the transmutation of base metal into gold. Unlikely to say the least, but whatever the source of Van Hoody's riches, he shows no reluctance in spending them. He's bought a historic temple to serve as his home and commissioned a private airship, among other extravagant expenditures. Nice for some, eh? That swindling case had barely started before you solved it, Inspector. Aha! All in a day's work, my dear Nashu. I believe our business upon this scented hill is concluded. Let us hurry to the ingredients back to Inspector Brandehild, shall we? I had forgotten about Lugay. That was really creepy there for a second.
Yeah.
I may
Well,
have
he's the one who took off with the wreckage, wasn't he?
probably. I may have mollified his lordship with the secrets of divine manifestation, but the stench of failure yet clings to me. I must redeem myself in his eyes by crushing my most hated foe. He and his box are back. I thought that the fat cat there was actually part of the scene. Nashu says, if Inspector Brandehild's remedy fails, we can always try my explosive cure-all. Inspector Hildebrand tells me you have the liver to go along with his damp shroom. A fine specimen. Thank you. I will be mixing the ingredients in the starship. So let us convey Master Poo-Poo outside that we may administer his medicine as soon as it is ready. This should be sufficiently remote. I'll have the craft come to us, and we can commence the treatment.
See what's his name by the bush.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, he was there when we walked up. I was like, nice.
Nashu's sleepy again. Oh, I feel much better. I cannot thank you all enough. I don't remember what voice I used for him in the past, so he doesn't have one anymore. Master Poo-Poo recovered his strength in mere moments. It would seem his powers of recuperation are just as advanced as his technology. Just see the little stalker right there in the middle of the screen. I came here from another world. A stranger you've no cause to trust, and yet you've treated me so kindly. The people of this star are so very welcoming. Ah, you are our dear friend now, Master Poo-Poo. 'Tis our pleasure to help. And it will be my pleasure to harm. I'll not fall for the same trick twice. His mind palace doesn't look nearly as sufficient.
Uh-uh.
Impudent worms, taste my full power.
Okay, I'm so glad I went with glasses. They look way cooler.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Not again! You took the full force of that destructive beam, yet there you stand, somewhat singed, but apparently unharmed. Of course, Delian, he is doing what only a Manderville man can. I've pondered and puzzled over this inexplicable fortitude of yours, and feel compelled to ask. Are you an alien? Ha! A fine jest, but I assure you, I am without a doubt an Uldan-born Manderville of terrestrial Hyurian stock. He's Hildebrand, agent of inquiry and inspector extraordinaire. What more do you need to know? Where to even begin? But never mind. We have more pressing matters. Such as locating Master Poo-Poo's missing comrade. 'Tis time we reopen the case of the silent correspondent. Yes, exactly. and I have a firm theory as to who it was that took the wreckage and its erstwhile pilot. The Sharlians! I am all but certain they've allied with insidious extraterrestrials, which means they'll be under orders to remove any evidence of alien activity. I wager we'll find what we're looking for in Old Charlian. We need only infiltrate their operations and expose the nefarious conspiracy. I'm going with option 1. The Charlians can't be bothered to formally ally with foreign nations, much less aliens, and the Loperids don't count. While Master Delian's theory does lack supporting facts, we have no other promising leads to pursue at present. Moreover, I understand that Charlian sets the standard for monitoring astronomical and astrological phenomena. Mayhap their experiments have been tracking extraterrestrial movements. I have spoken out of turn. Please forgive my presumptuousness. Hey, my friend. I too sense our path points to the Isle of Archons. Pack your bags, everyone. We leave for Charlian immediately.
I chose that they'd rather be leaving, running away, than to figure it out, or whatever it was. Same answer.
Yeah. Hildebrand is keen to embark on the next leg of your investigation. And we have a question mark box as the reward. Charlian awaits. We need only charter a suitable sea vessel. Of course. But does not the city lie many days' sail to the north? Is there no swifter means of reaching our destination? So this experimental aetherite will allow us to teleport thither even absent attunement? Splendid! Then we shall avail ourselves of the technological marvel forthwith. Oh, this is going to be good. They're all going to get aether poisoning.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think the same.
Now, they don't look poisoned. Okay, did the stalker find some way to follow them? Yes, he did. This is honestly his best hiding place so far tonight.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, Delian might be sick. Oh,
Well, he's sick.
Oh, the
God
stalker's
save me.
sick.
Oh, he is.
Yeah,
Right.
he's showing up.
Oh.
I hope Delian wasn't attached to his lunch, Nashu says. How severe is your aether sickness, Master Poo Poo? Oh, when you've traveled the cosmos as much as I have, teleportation is not the least bit disconcerting. So this is the city of learning. A sophisticated gentleman should feel right at home here. Oh, how are you all not sick to your stomachs? Experimental aetherites make travel exponentially more fun. Sometimes I feel as though I am the person in this group of eccentrics. But, not the time to succumb to nausea. Not here in the belly of the beast. Rumor has it the Charlian secret agents travel the star in search of specimens, which they collect and bring home in service to a confidential research project. Said project is conducted in a huge underground military facility. Where to find answers, that's where we need to look. Both of these answers are perfectly valid, but I'm going with the Labyrinthos. Labyrinthos, not a military facility. I say, this Labyrinthos sounds promising. I say we head down there and make inquiries as to the whereabouts of our missing alien friend. We simply take a lift from the Hall of Artifice, yes? Then let us be on our way.
This poor little guy is still throwing up purpley stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Sparkly.
If you're still feeling poorly, my all-purpose cure-all can perk you right up. No, thank you. I'm much recovered. Let's see, is the Stalker still sick and didn't make it over here? I don't see him anywhere yet. You over there, KJ?
Not that I can find yet.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with he's still sick and was not able to follow yet. Ah, these must be the lifts in question. Do you wish to descend into Labyrinthos, sir? My apologies, but each of your companions must also secure the proper permissions before we can allow them entrance. If it is assurances you need, then surely a single glance is all you require to judge us trustworthy. I find it interesting that she's actually carrying a sword. I could certainly make some judgments, but that is neither here nor there. Admission to Labyrinthos is subject to forum policy. You're the ones who should be judged. I know you're hiding aliens and xenotechnology in that underground base of yours. Admit it! Xenotechnology? I sincerely have no idea what you're talking about. Oh, yet again do our paths cross in most serendipitous fashion. There's Godbird. I knew he had to show up eventually. Father! What business brings you to Charlian? I am in search of a certain object, one crucial to the continued refinement of the Manderville weaponry. My investigations lead me to believe it is to be found here in Labyrinthos. And as you also seem to have business down below, this is my son and his bosom companions. If I vouch for their character, will you kindly allow them to board the lift? Ah, Master Godbert Manderville, the Forum sent word of your impending arrival. As a member of the Syndicate, your ambassadorial status affords you an entourage of up to 5 members. Pray consider their permissions arranged. I know not your current mission, but for the time being, I suggest you accompany me to the Archeon. Not letting the stalker through.
Yeah.
Oh, certainly. We'll probably find him sticking his head out of a barrel or something. Although maybe not immediately. He has to take a detour to get here. From what Father tells me, this storage facility is replete with samples and specimens collected from every land on Aetheris. If anyone has information concerning visiting aliens and crashed starships, it will be these studious folk. Okay, I remember you, dude. You deserve whatever Hildebrand does to your brain right now. Shiny silver saucer. I'm sorry, but we have no record of any such object in our archives, either whole or in part. Or so you would have us believe. But the purpose of this complex, this military fortress, is plain. You cannot deny that you're conducting secret research on alien starships. You're not conducting secret research on alien starships. Yes, we did build a starfaring vessel in Thalmazane, but it was neither for military purposes nor of extraterrestrial origin. Disguising your foul lies with a sprinkling of truth, are we? Fine, I'll dig up the facts myself, and then everyone will hear what you're really up to. While I cannot assist you with your missing craft, I do recall seeing an individual of like appearance to your companion here. You do? And where was this, pray tell? At Marial Agronomics in the medial circuit. The lift at the back of the building will take you down there. Many thanks, my good man. Oh well. It seems you've found yourselves a solid lead. I have my own search to attend to, so I shall bid you good hunting and good day. Another round of in-depth inquiries by the agent of inquiry and friends is in order. To Mayall Agronomics we go. It's going to be one of the plant monsters, isn't it? That's how we flew over some of the mandrakes on our way here, so I was like, that kind of looks like Master Poo Poo. Wait, this is not the quest we're looking.
Yeah, you should talk to that guy.
Oh, I should? Okay.
I have to talk to 3 people.
The fact that it was a blue quest, I was thinking that it was something I had just never bothered to do here. Your description would lead me to believe you're looking for one of the Mandragoras hereabouts. But if, as you say, it's something else you're after, then I'm not sure if I can be much help. I've only just started working here, so you may have more luck asking the older hands. Ah, you must be talking about one of those new Mandragora strains. We whipped up a batch of bright blue stray onions, but I'm afraid they started to rot almost immediately. Not a mandra, you say? Well, the only other bluish things I can think of around here are the grapes. Look at how luscious this crop turned out. The grapes will forever be a meme.
Yeah.
Oh, he's actually met one of the Mandragora here. Nashu says, Master Poo Poo has found a new friend. Maybe they can help us find the old one. Yes, the little blue man. Saw him with my own 2 eyes. I did, and it was no Mandragora. A gleaner in the company of an outside visitor passed through a little while back. Nothing too unusual there, only this, friend you described was scuttling along with them. I know not what purpose brought them to the farm, but whatever it was, they didn't tarry here long. Follow back. Wonderful. Corroborates the information I but moments ago skillfully squirreled out of this farmer. She claims to be an acquaintance of the gleaner in question. In fact, and I will bring him in question, in fact, and I will bring him to talk to us shortly. Let's round up the others. We should all be present to hear what revelations this professional collector has to share. You're the folk asking after the little blue man, right? Oh, and you've brought someone who's practically identical. You must be the same species, surely. My friend was really here then? They certainly were. If you've a moment or three, I'll tell you the whole tale. To begin at the beginning, I was in Thavnair on a procurement mission when I crossed paths with an apothecary and his unusual companion. As I mentioned, the companion was almost your twin in appearance, and the wagon they rode upon bore a damaged vessel, the likes of which I had never seen before. Could it be? As a collector by trade, I have a certain weakness for oddities. Thus did I hail the apothecary to inquire after his company and his cargo. The man was only too happy to share his story. He had, it seemed, quite recklessly plunged into the war-torn lands of Garlemald to sell his wares, reasoning that where there was conflict, there would be a need for medicinal goods. The state of affairs was rather more volatile than he anticipated, however, and he was soon forced to abandon his venture. And so the apothecary began his long trek home, only to shortly thereafter discover a strange silvery ship and its shaken pilot crash-landed in a snowfield. It cannot be coincidence. The story continues. After extricating the battered vessel and its occupant from the snow, he brought them home to Razatan. His guest wished to make repairs to the craft, yet even amongst the wonders of the bazaar they struggled to find suitable parts. Hearing this, I suggested they bring the wreckage itself to Labyrinthos, and after they agreed to the idea, I escorted them here myself. Alas, even the Thalmazane engineers who worked on the Ark were stymied by the exotic ship, finding its technology impossible to comprehend, let alone replicate. The little blue fellow eventually resorted to drafting schematics, while the engineers followed these step by step to craft the essential bits and bobs. The apothecary and his companion were waiting here at Marial. And then what happened? But once our industrious visitor had what they needed, they repaired the vessel in a twinkling. The pair then departed almost immediately, and I've seen neither hide nor hair of them since. I told the apothecary paid a handsome sum for the engineer's services, but being typical Charlians, I wager they would have happily fortified the coin for a chance to pore over every square inch of that ilm of that ship, or forfeited the coin. Now, I'm no scientist, but I'm beginning to think such an incredible vessel must have been some kind of starfaring craft, and that little blue man, well, he must have been an alien from another world. Or so I'd like to believe. I'm an avid reader of the Thavnarian truths, and love to entertain these idle flights of fancy. But I've rambled on too long. There are errands to attend to, and I really must take my leave. Good fortune to you. Can it be true? I have a readership in Charlian? Perhaps I've misjudged these people. But seem your comrade is hale and healthy, Master Poo-Poo, and in the company of a Honish alchemist of undisclosed description. Yes, this is wonderful news. I am grateful indeed that we made the journey. I have a feeling this case will soon draw to a close. Come, let us return to Razatan and continue the search.
It looks like he never made it.
Now the question is will he be back at Razat Han, or will he be roaming Labyrinthos forever looking for Nashu?
Yeah.
He's back.
He must have a crystal ball or something.
It's a relief to see this
No.
Nashu is hale and whole and still fetching. I wasn't able to sneak into Labyrinthos, so I couldn't watch over her like usual. But I'm here for her now. Now and forever. There and back again, in the blink of an eye. To summarize our findings, we now know Master Poo-Poo's friend is safe and in the company of a Hanish gentleman, and possibly here on this very isle. Oh, that does sound promising. Hello again, Godbert. Father, you've returned to the city. I trust this means your own investigation was successful? That it was, although laying hands on this object of my desire has been a long and frustrating ordeal, to say the least. Much painstaking research revealed to me the existence of a hereditary Manderville relic, within which slumbers the secrets of weapon augmentation. Yet though I turned our ancestral home upside down, I failed to unearth the artifact in question. The reason for its absence became clear when I chanced upon the journal of one of our forefathers. He wrote of a visiting scholar's keen interest in the relic, and how he thus surrendered it into Charlian's safekeeping for study. The trail led me to Labyrinthos. As it turns out, the Charlians never did find time to conduct their analysis. The custodian and I found the curio tucked away in a dusty corner of the Archeon, still awaiting processing. And here it is. An oddity every bit as perplexing as Godbrand's cipher-bound manual. How are we to liberate its hidden wisdom? Oh, I could help you with that. These devices were made by the Mandervillians, a starfaring race with whom we once traded. Starfaring? Mandervillians? Yes, a highly evolved species with a mastery of advanced technologies. Our peoples shared ideas and inventions, so I'm quite familiar with your family's relic. If you so wish, I can have the device project whatever images were stored upon it. A darkened room would afford us a clearest view, however. Then let us retire to our rooms, and dim the lanterns. We must behold these secrets in optimal conditions. Civilians. Coincidental naming, or is it some deeper connection?
Aliens.
Indeed. The stalker's in here too. Everyone comfortable? Let's see what the device has for us. Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're my only hope.
Yep. Oh, and the third elephant staring down at the guy. Well, it was.
I am Godbrand, wanderer of stars and weaponsmith extraordinaire. First Lord of House Manderville. This is Godbrand, our founding father. I record this message that my descendants may know the truth of their cosmic origins. The tale is long, but I bid you watch until the very end. Heirs of mine, I am not a man born of this star, or even a man at all. I am of the Mandervillians, a race which hails from the far side of the great expanse. Mandervillians are parasitic symbionts. We can only survive by bonding with other life forms. Once our essence has taken root, we supplant the host's mind and strengthen its physical structures, imbuing our new form with a steel-like resilience. I knew there was something alien about that impossible imperviousness. Then, through the conjoining of compatible host bodies, we produce offspring, which harbor the next generation of Mandervillians. This symbiotic variant eventually takes to the stars in search of potential new vessels, adapting and multiplying. So it was that our race proliferated and spread throughout the cosmos. Until, tragically, our flourishing civilization was brought to an abrupt end. Every planet upon which we Mandervillians resided was visited by an inexplicable calamity. Our societies were brought to ruin by life forms suddenly twisted into horrific nightmares. That sounds rather familiar. So even stars far removed in time and space were ravaged by the final days. Desperate to avoid the same fate, a comrade and I boarded a ship and fled upwards into the starry night. We flew and flew until we found a planet, your planet, untouched by the phenomenon. But the rigors of the journey had so damaged our craft that we were forced to make an uncontrolled descent. I alone crawled from the wreckage, badly injured and near death. But even as I resigned myself to perishing on this unfamiliar world, I was found by a man who had come looking for the falling star. As a rule, Mandervillians do not take intelligent life forms as hosts. After hearing my story, however, this sympathetic gentleman offered to become my vessel of his own accord. He was himself afflicted by an incurable malady, and with little time left to live, seemed content to know that his ailing body could provide safe haven for another. With his blessing, I set about transferring my essence. The man's form was revitalized and purged of his fatal frailty, yet the mind which dwelled within, now my own. I went on to build a new home for myself here, making use of my people's technology to ply the blacksmith's trade. I wed a local lass, and together we had a child. Although not pure Mandervillian, our offspring exhibits the same enhanced physiology, a boon I suspect shall be passed down for generations through the bloodline of House Manderville. My dear descendants, the folk of this star are most fragile. Yet as the first man I encountered did demonstrate, they are nevertheless capable of surpassing love and generosity. As the last of the Mandervillians, I have but one request to make of you. Pray employ your superlative attributes, and my armory of Manderville armaments, for the benefit of these wonderful peoples, whom I hold in highest regard. What an astounding development. I, Hildebrand Heliodor Maximilian Manderville, shall heed the passionate plea of my illustrious forebearer. No case is too big nor too small, should it be in service to my fellow man. Learns he's descended from an extraterrestrial being, and it's still business as usual. Wait a minute. Then why is Lady Juliana so monstrously strong? Is she a descendant of aliens too? Well, that was most unexpected. Never did it cross my mind that our esteemed ancestor might hail from beyond the heavens. But I do wonder if that self-same blood still runs thick in our veins. The family tree I glanced over some years ago suggests that, but 'tis unimportant. My present purpose remains unchanged. I will bring our Mandeville weaponry to the peak of perfection, for Godbrand and for the good of our star. Ah, before I forget, I have a gift for you. Pray await me at the Aetherite Plaza, and I shall bring it to you forthwith. Are we gonna get the little pyramid thing as a tabletop thing to stick in our rooms? I'm thinking that's probably what it's gonna be.
I hope not. I got too much junk in there anyway.
They're increasing the amount of furniture we can have
Yep.
in the next text pack.
Are they?
Yep, they are.
About. Woohoo! I'm excited then.
Some truths can shatter the foundation of our beliefs when brought to light, but I have to say this wasn't one of them. The more staggering discovery was that I'd have devoted readers in Charlian. Those who pursue my publication are allies against the ever-expanding web of lies and deception without exception. I have misjudged the Charlian people. They are not collaborators or the architects of conspiracy. They are but seekers of knowledge, unafraid to plumb the depths of the unknown. That Master Poo-Poo, though, that one still has ulterior motives. I'd bet my life on it. Stand ready, for we shall have need of your strength when he shows his true colors. I hope you've not been waiting long. This is the gift I mentioned. Master Poo-Poo's earnest quest inspired me to indulge in a spot of clockwork craftsmanship between weaponsmithing sessions. I thought it only fitting that you be the one to care for this diminutive simulacrum. Consider it a memento of our adventures together. And as for our Manderville weaponry project, I believe my ancestor's artifact has unlocked the door to the next stage of improvements. Should you find time to offer your assistance, announce yourself to Master Geralt, and I shall endeavor to join you with utmost celerity. Until then. Okay, a pet is better than a little pyramid. Meanwhile, elsewhere in Thavnair, Lord Van Hoody, I come with ill tidings. Professor Lugay set an ambush for his nemesis, but was once more defeated. His current whereabouts are unclear. That blithering dolt. No matter. Preparations are well underway. The manifestation will proceed as planned.
That doesn't look good.
Indeed not. The song has lyrics now, even if they're not sung.
Does that mean one of us have to pop the alien out here?
Er,
But they don't do anything. Well, that's a bummer.
see if they interact with each other in any way. But probably not. No, don't seem to do anything. Alright, should probably go visit Geralt just to find out what's necessary for the next Manderville weapon. I imagine it's the same thing that was necessary for the last 2 levels.
Was it the Hall of the Radiant Host?
It's the Crucible, I think. It's over on the far right-hand side of the map.
Oh, got it. Sorry.
Geralt seems even less enthused to see you than usual. Oh, it's you. I suppose that bespeckled fop did mention he'd made some kind of breakthrough and needed to round up the usual suspects. I shall inform his lordship of your arrival. Welcome, welcome. I do hope you are prepared for another spot of modest labor, for I have plucked a new weaponsmithing secret from the depths of my family's extraordinary heirloom. As for why Godbrand abandoned his ciphered journals, it would seem he desired the greater security afforded by the relic's recording apparatus. That he so feared his knowledge falling into wicked hands bespeaks the destructive potential of what we seek to create. Speaking of which, this stage of augmentation will require a fundamental alteration of the weaponry's design. Godbrand understood that the individual wielders have different needs and preferences, and thus conceived of a method to modify each armament's base qualities. Essential to the process is a new type of oil, known as Maxalamanderville. But subtly adjusting the precise ratio of ingredients for this coating, we can influence the paths of aetherical conductivity as we see fit. Or bloody oil. The oil's chief ingredient is, once again, derived from a meteorite, specifically an acondite, with amplifying properties. So many out-of-this-world materials, but 'tis unsurprising now that we know of the alien origins of Godbrand's weaponsmithing techniques. Alien origin, you say? Little wonder I wasn't familiar with them. As has become customary, I shall prepare the bulk of the necessary resources while you procure our supply of acrondite. Oh, aye. A lovely bloody custom that is. Man of your means, I reckon you could buy a mountain of them space rocks as well. I would gladly do so, except the merchant in question will accept not less but a specific type of tombstone in trade. As much as it pains me to impose upon him further, he is the best equipped to handle this onerous task. These improvements call for a drastic reforging. It is your expertise that shall see us succeed or fail as well, Master Geralt. Fine, I'll shut me gob and do as I'm told. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm getting the distinct impression you've lost interest in this project. You bloody think? Look, I took this job to pay off my drinking debts. Now that I've managed that, I've got no desire to keep working for an underdressed, overprimped, pretentious arse. I see. Admittedly, even from the beginning, your distaste for me was rather poorly concealed. And I fear such festering antagonism will adversely affect our smithing endeavors.
You're
Yes.
fired!
Let us resolve our differences over a flagon of fine spirits, or several, as circumstances dictate. All at my expense, of course. Free liquor, is it? Then you'd best be bringing your biggest purse. You must join us, if you would be so kind as to secure a table at the Mahane. I shall be along in short order. Yes, we need to go secure a table, and then we need to tell them when Godbert and Geralt arrive, they need a helping of Zero's curry to go with their drinks.
They wouldn't let me do
That
it.
was the super hot one, right?
It wouldn't let you pick up the quest, Zora?
It's red to me. It's
Well,
saying
she and I don't have our weapons up.
Yeah, you guys never did the last level. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Our weapons are at 615, and I am one shy of the complimentary chondrite,
Gotcha.
or whatever,
Oh,
to
okay.
do it. And we also need, and I don't know how many you have, Zora, of the Allegan tombstone of causality, but they cost 500 each, and I've only got 340. So I was going to actually farm those with the group, whatever, looking for group, whatever you want to call it, that group, because I guess you get 50 or 65 each time. I don't remember, but I never did it, and I never finished it. So I'm right there with Zora. But she
No
might have
problem.
more of those qualities than I do.
I only have 100 and something.
Gotcha.
Okay. But if we go through the latest dungeon, whatever, with the group, not our group, but with the other group, we should be able to make a couple of those. I can't remember.
All right, guys, I think we're going to call the stream here. We have caught up, and FF14 will return next time we have a patch, which I think is supposed to be coming in October. So, until then, I want to thank y'all for joining me. Hope y'all enjoyed it. I'll see y'all next time. Have a good night.